This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on results of Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. The participants are K.V. Prasad and Vinay Kumar. Political Analyst. Moderator is Nishit Kumar.
Welcome to this special edition of Spotlight, wherein we'll be discussing the election results for the assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana. But before we proceed any further, let's take a look at the latest trend. As of now, the counting of votes for assembly elections has completed in Jammu and Kashmir and it is in progress in Haryana. The latest trends and results indicate that the Bharatiya Janata Party has crossed the majority mark in the 90-member Haryana Legislative Assembly. And the BJP has retained Haryana for the third consecutive term, while the National Conference and the Congress Alliance is all set to form the next government in Jammu and Kashmir, as it surpassed the halfway mark by securing 48 seats out of the 90-member assembly. And as per the latest report from Haryana, 89 results have been announced so far, out of which the BJP has won 48 assembly seats, Congress has won 36 and is leading in Rohtak, the result of which is still awaited. And the Indian National Lok Dal has got 2 seats. Independents have won in 3 assembly constituencies. BJP leader and Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini has registered victory from Ladwa seat with a margin of over 16,000 votes. State Minister Anil Vij has defeated independent candidate Chitra Sarwara from Ambala Kant seat. Congress leader and former Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh Hooda won the Garhi Sampla Kiloi seat in Rohtak by more than 71,000 votes. Wrestler Vinesh Fogart from Congress also won from Julana constituency. Speaking of Jammu and Kashmir, results for all the 90 seats have been declared. National Conference won 42 seats, while its alliance partner Indian National Congress got 6 seats. The Bharatiya Janata Party bagged 29 seats. Beginning with you, Mr. Kumar, for the past few days, looking at the exit polls, especially talking of Haryana, today the results are diametrically opposite. So, where was the gap? Did the psephologist or the technology or whatever we may like to say committed a blunder in that?
Yeah, Nishit, you are right. I think all exit poll predictions, BJP was able to turn them on their heads. And if you see the predictions and the narrative which was being built up in the run-up to the assembly elections, particularly in Haryana, that Congress was riding on anti-incumbency sentiments and feelings in Haryana. It was very confident that they'll be able to dethrone BJP, which has ruled Haryana for the past 10 years. But a combination of factors, if we see, without going into the minor details, seem to have worked in favor of BJP. And as BJP star campaigner remains Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but he addressed only 4 rallies, public meetings, election meetings in Haryana, carefully choosing the belts where he addressed these meetings. In comparison to Congress, where leader of opposition and Congress leader Rahul Gandhi even took out a yatra or a statewide march as if it was a victory lap. But somewhere, the caste combinations, I wouldn't go into the breakup, but the performance of the government and the narrative which the Congress was able to build, that farmers and wrestlers were against BJP, as well as the Agniveer and the unemployment. These are the main issues. But when you see the results, this is, everyone has admitted today, during which we have seen throughout the day, the discussions in various TV channels and newspapers and websites, that BJP was able to turn that, crush that narrative and emerge victorious. And similarly, if we look at Jammu and Kashmir, it was the first election after abrogation of Article 370. And a little while ago, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, while addressing workers in BJP headquarters, he pointed out that this is the victory, symbolizes victory for the values of the constitution. And since Jammu and Kashmir is a border territory, and Congress had and National Conference, they have emerged victorious there. They had an alliance, but nevertheless BJP has done pretty well in its traditional stronghold in Jammu, where it was expected to do well, and there were also issues of statehood, and both Home Minister Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi in their campaigns, they had promised that as soon as elections are over, we will go back to the statehood, we'll restore statehood. So these were the two, equations and narratives which were built in two different states, Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. But for BJP, I think this is a huge moral booster, because elections are coming in Maharashtra, Jharkhand and Delhi. Over the next few months, the elections are due. And for Congress, it means, dashing of their hopes. They were hoping for the political ascendancy in these crucial states. So broadly, this is the picture which emerges from the results today.
We'll come to the Jammu and Kashmir results later, but Mr. Prasad, I would like to know from you, third consecutive term, this is something. Was there, again, looking back at the exit polls, wherein it gave almost a clean sweep for the Congress party. Now the BJP, as Mr. Kumar rightly pointed out, turned the results on its head, almost to 180 degrees. Was there an undercurrent, or was there a sense, if we can say that, of that unknown elector who sits on the fence maybe, or maybe he doesn't come out forthright with his choice when we talk about the exit polls? How do you see that?
Well, it's quite possible what you say, because exit polls are very limited in terms of its percentage sample. You must get it right, and you must, when you test against it. Psephology in India is always a difficult option. One, because the very matrix, the kind of caste composition, the kind of has always been a dicey situation. Very rarely have the exit polls got it right. If you look at, some they have got it, but if you look at the large majority, last Lok Sabha was a classic case. Before that, if you go to the 3 assembly elections of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, again they seem to have missed the bus. So it's okay. Let's have that, keep that aside. But what I look at is politically, we ask an undercurrent. The question is, every election has an undercurrent. Here, most people looked at the undercurrent as an anti-incumbency, anger against the government, which was there for 10 years. And remember, in this election, if you look at it, in Haryana, the BJP was voted back to power with a reduced majority. It could not form a government without the JJP. Now, the JJP is decimated to zero in terms of electoral representation in legislature, whereas the BJP has got 48 seats and a good percentage, roughly about 40% of vote share. So that kind of tells you the BJP worked its calculations very well, knowing very well, because one of the narrative that was running throughout the campaign was this election is all about, to use a Hindi term, Jawan, Kisan or Pahalwan. Now, you see the results.
True.
It's different.
True. Mr. Kumar, now coming to Jammu and Kashmir results, of course, these were the first elections which were held after the abrogation of Article 317. There was a lot of hue and cry over the past 5 years when it got scrapped. So now, looking at the mandate now, of course, the NC plus combined Congress and the NC, they have got a clear majority, of course, no doubt about that. And BJP has been limited to around 28 seats or so, I guess. So, do you see the results, the mandate, as a stamp of people kind of being happy or not happy with the abrogation?
No, you see, Nishit, the reality remains that nobody can bring back Article 370 now. It is as good as it is buried deep. And if you see during the campaign also, nobody made much, hue and cry and noise about restoration of Article 370. But restoration of statehood was a key factor in campaigning. And BJP has been able to sell its narrative to the people. If we look at it that way, then delimitation of constituencies was also undertaken. before these elections were held. And if you see the security scenario, which always remains very sensitive and dicey in a border state like Jammu and Kashmir, the axis of terrorism shifted from Valley to Jammu region. Over the past 1.5 years, we have seen number of incidents in Rajouri, Poonch, that belt in Jammu region. And we lost, army personnel also. We have seen encounters also. And in that belt, in Jammu belt, BJP has done pretty well. And BJP's footprint in the territory of Jammu and Kashmir, they have been able to expand it. But their hopes of forming a government, I think that those won't, come true, because 42 plus 6, 48 seats are with National Conference and Congress. And PDP of Mehbooba Mufti has done pretty bad. Even Iltija Mufti has lost yes. their Bij Bihara seat, which was traditional stronghold, family stronghold of Mufti Muhammad Saeed. And that was the constituency from where Mehbooba Mufti made her political debut also. So Jammu Kashmir, was keenly watched. And how, in terms of, as Prime Minister was saying, that, the constitution and upholding of those values is what voters have, voted for in Jammu and Kashmir.
Mr. Prasad, generally there has been this broad narrative, if I may say so, that the Jammu and Kashmir elections should be seen from an international prism. It's not more of a local kind of a election. It has international ramifications. Many parties, many stakeholders advance this argument. Now, with this mandate, how do you see this furthering up more?
See, that has been an issue all throughout, because we have a neighbor who's always
hostile, yes.
Yeah, hostile, and keeps a hawk's eye on what's happening in Jammu Kashmir. So that's nothing new, and they always try to internationalize, as we call, quote and unquote, at every available opportunity. Even the UN General Assembly, we saw a good retort from Government of India coming. Government India gave it to. So this is a very old narrative, which always looks. But this results do say two very clear indicators. One, as Vinay pointed out, the BJP retains its Jammu region representation to a large extent, and the Valley, the National Conference, regained a ground which it had lost to the PDP in the last election. So that's a sign. And I think very important, I heard a statement coming from Omar Abdullah, who obviously was named by his father to be the Chief Minister designate, but he did not say as many words. But he said what is going to be important is whoever is the Chief Minister of that state will have to carry along even people of Jammu, even though they did not vote for the NC in particular. So that gives a larger approach. But here, how the administration takes is new, because Jammu Kashmir is now a union territory. So the administrative mechanism systems are not going to be what it was when the last government was there in the place.
Very briefly, Mr. Kumar, where do you see the BJP going from here on, especially if we talk of the last 3-4 months, ever since the Lok Sabha results have come in?
No, BJP will be in political ascendancy, no doubt about it. I mean, if they would have lost Haryana, it would have meant a very crushing blow to the workers and the party morale. Delhi is neighboring Haryana. So Delhi elections are next year, a few months away. So Aam Aadmi Party has been able to draw a blank in Haryana. And Aam Aadmi Party and Congress equations, everyone knows, they have even given up on their alliance. So BJP will be able to, I think, build up this narrative in other states also, including Delhi.
And post Lok Sabha elections, where it had dipped its vote in terms of seats, I think it comes back.
Right. So thank you so very much, Mr. Vinay Kumar and Mr. KV Prasad, for having joined in this special broadcast of Spotlight.
You were listening to a discussion on results of Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir Assembly elections. The participants were KV Prasad and Vinay Kumar, political analysts. Moderator was Nishit Kumar. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or